Ferdinand rejects Garnacho'S apology letter, a dramatic showdown at Manchester United. In what has quickly become one of the most talked about storylines of the summer, the fallout between Alejandro Garnacho and Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim has taken another dramatic turn. The young winger, hoping to mend fences following his exclusion from the squad for the Premier League's summer series, submitted an emotional apology letter directly to Amorim. But former club captain Rio Ferdinand has made his stance clear: the apology should be rejected. Ferdinand, a vocal presence in the football media landscape, believes that the gesture, however heartfelt, falls short of what is required. In his view, Garnacho must face the full consequences of his actions if he is to truly mature into the professional footballer United needs him to be. The incident has ignited a firestorm of reactions across fan communities, pundit circles, and within the halls of Old Trafford itself. A meteoric rise shadowed by controversy. Alejandro Garnacho's emergence from Manchester United's youth ranks into the senior squad has been meteoric. Armed with blistering pace, a flair for the dramatic, and a penchant for scoring in clutch moments, the Argentine winger quickly captured the imagination of fans and drew praise from teammates and coaches alike. His breakout performances injected new life into a side in transition, signaling the arrival of a potential generational talent. But along with his explosive rise came persistent reports of friction behind the scenes. Club insiders have pointed to disciplinary issues and a sometimes dismissive attitude toward authority. Garnacho's approach, described by some as confident and others as arrogant, has reportedly clashed with Amorim's firm stance on discipline and professionalism. This tension reached a boiling point when Amorim opted to leave Garnacho out of the Premier League's summer series squad, a decision that, while controversial, sent a clear message about the standards expected at one of the world's most prestigious football institutions. The letter that sparked a storm. In the wake of his omission, Garnacho reportedly composed a deeply personal apology letter to Amorim, acknowledging his missteps and expressing remorse for actions that may have jeopardized his standing within the squad. According to sources within the club, Garnacho even made an emotional appeal in person, described as begging on his knees, outside the manager's office, a dramatic image that has fueled public fascination and debate. While the gesture may have been sincere, it did little to sway Ferdinand, who used his platform to deliver a harsh but pointed critique. Speaking on his podcast, Ferdinand was unequivocal. Apologies are fine, but they are meaningless without change. This is Manchester United, not a place for empty words. Ruben Amorim needs to hold the line. Garnacho must prove he understands what it means to play for this club, not just with talent, but with maturity and professionalism, Ferdinand asserted. A call for accountability. Ferdinand's reaction represents a wider school of thought among former players and seasoned analysts. Many believe Garnacho is at a crossroads and must learn a difficult but essential lesson about the realities of elite sport. Talent, as they argue, is only part of the equation. Discipline, accountability, and respect for team structures are what transform a gifted player into a world-class professional. In the era I played in, a player would be benched or even transferred for far less. We had a code. This is not just about Garnacho, it's about the message being sent to the entire squad. If there are no real consequences, then the culture begins to erode, Ferdinand emphasized. His comments have added pressure to an already complex situation, one that is forcing Manchester United's leadership to balance long-term player development with the immediate need to maintain order and unity within the team. Amorim's tough decision. For Ruben Amorim, the decision is anything but straightforward. Since his arrival, he has made it clear that no player is above the collective and that discipline is a non-negotiable pillar of his coaching philosophy. Amorim, who has earned a reputation as a modern, tactically astute manager, has never hesitated to make bold decisions, even when they come at a short-term cost. Amorim's success at previous clubs, particularly his transformation of Sporting CP into a title-winning force, was built on his ability to instill structure and expectation. He has carried that same mindset to Manchester United, where his emphasis on meritocracy has resonated with many senior players. Insiders say that Amorim is carefully evaluating Garnacho's conduct not just in isolation, but within the broader framework of team dynamics. His challenge is to determine whether the apology, and the effort that may follow, is a sign of real change, or a performative act intended to fast-track a return to the lineup. Garnacho at the crossroads. For Garnacho, the stakes have never been higher. The apology letter may have been an important first step, but his true test lies in the weeks ahead. Can he demonstrate the kind of maturity and humility that Amorim and the club are demanding? Or will this become the first major stumble in what could otherwise be a promising career? The winger has reportedly responded to the incident by throwing himself into training, arriving early, staying late, and focusing on areas of his game that had previously drawn criticism. Teammates have noted a change in his demeanor, less brash, more focused. Whether this shift is permanent or temporary remains to be seen. This is Garnacho'S opportunity to rewrite the narrative. In the high-stakes environment of Manchester United, second chances are rare, and when given, must be seized without hesitation or entitlement. Fans divided. The Garnacho saga has split the fanbase. On one side, supporters argue that young players inevitably make mistakes and that Garnacho's remorse, coupled with his immense potential, warrants forgiveness and reintegration. They see his apology not as weakness, but as a sign of emotional growth. On the other side, there is a growing chorus echoing Ferdinand's call for accountability. These fans worry that leniency would set a dangerous precedent, undermining Amorim's authority and the standards the club is trying to restore. Social media has been flooded with discussion, with hashtags like #Garnacho'Demption and #AmorimStandsFirm trending across platforms. Debates have spilled over into podcasts, match forums, and fan meetups, reflecting the cultural weight this issue has taken on. The bigger picture. Beyond the immediate fallout, the situation speaks to broader trends in modern football, where young stars are thrust into the spotlight at ever younger ages, often without the time or support needed to mature at a healthy pace. Clubs are grappling with how to balance nurturing talent with instilling values that transcend the game. Manchester United, a club with a long tradition of developing world-class players, now finds itself facing this question once again. Can Garnacho become the next success story in a lineage that includes George Best, Ryan Giggs, and Cristiano Ronaldo? Or will his journey become a cautionary tale? What comes next? As the Premier League season approaches, all eyes will be on Garnacho and Amorim. Will the manager soften his stance and offer the young winger a path back into the squad? Or will he hold firm, demanding further evidence of growth before lifting the suspension? Whatever the outcome, the message from the club's veterans, former legends, and many fans is clear: talent must be matched with discipline. And while Garnacho's story is far from over, this chapter could define what comes next. Ferdinand's rejection of the apology may seem harsh to some, but it reflects the ruthlessness required at the top level. In a world where every decision is scrutinized and every gesture magnified, both Amorim and Garnacho face a pivotal test of character. Final thoughts. Alejandro Garnacho is not the first young star to face adversity at Manchester United, and he will not be the last. The difference between promise and greatness lies not in avoiding mistakes but in how one responds to them. This moment is not just about an apology, it's about accountability, growth, and the long road to professional maturity. The weeks ahead will offer a revealing glimpse into whether Garnacho is ready to walk that path. As the lights grow brighter and expectations soar, one thing is certain: this story is far from finished.